Hey, hey, hey. Time for an out-of-this-world story from our space. Goodbye, friends. Time really heals all. Good day, everyone. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. In November, my then-girlfriend of 5 years and the mother of my 3-year-old son cheated on me. I had taken our son to my grandparents, as I always do on weekends, and she stayed behind our apartment. She asked me to call an Uber for her to see a friend, didn't respond to my text the rest of the day, and could not account for her time whereabouts when I asked the next day. Fast forward to New Year's Eve, she got drunk and bragged to a mutual friend that she had banged someone on the night in question, someone I know. The mutual friend told me I was livid and told my ex to pack all of her stuff and leave the apartment. When I probed about the infidelity, she said she had no choice but to cheat because I had grown distant and she felt I didn't love her anymore. She has moved back to a friend's place to sort herself out, and I currently have our son. I am devastated. She's unemployed, got retrenched recently, near homeless, and has no idea when she'll get a job. She's asked if I could buy her monthly plane tickets so she can come see our son until she finds a job, but I'm against this. We've blocked each other everywhere except WhatsApp, so we can video call our son. But I'm terrified about what happens next. I'm a mess, and she seems to have thoroughly moved on, which is fine, whatever, but I fear for what happens next with her son and how we'll co-parent successfully. If she doesn't get a job in the next few months, she has mentioned the possibility of taking our son back, and I'd send some sort of stipend to support the both of them. Really looking for any advice, how to heal from the infidelity, and how to successfully co-parent. Update. Good day, everyone. Time flies, doesn't it? I can't believe it's been 14 months since this happened. First post. I've been keeping an eye on boards for a while, just hadn't responded, and figured today would be as good a day as any to say goodbye to this subreddit. Just an update. Last month, I was offered, and signed, a job at a very large tech company. One of the biggest in the world. You probably know which one I'm talking about. Doubled my salary. This job will fundamentally change me and my boy's life forever. We weren't rich, but money wasn't too much of a problem before. But this job will give us the kind of security I thought we'd only get in my 40s. I'm 31 right now. My relationship with the woman I met after the mother of my child is growing from strength to strength. Look, we could have bumped recently, but nothing we can't solve. She thinks I'm too busy, and I promised to make more time for her. I still have primary custody of my boy. I might be moving back with my folks for a month or two while I serve out the probationary period at my job. But me and him are the best we've ever been. Every day he tells me he loves me, and every day I try to show him the same. If you hadn't read my first post, please do. I was despondent. When the mother of my child broke up with me, I felt like someone had sucked the air out of the entire planet. 14 months later, I am surrounded by love, have a job that pays way more than I could ever imagine, and my life as my son's primary caregiver, main parent, is the greatest source of joy ever. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to everyone who walked with me to this journey. I think I speak for all of us when I say, I hope we never meet again. Take care, everyone, and all the best. Our first reaction comes from Ninja Dojo XX. Wow, man, looks like you made a hell of a comeback. Congratulations. Happy to hear you are doing well and recover from your past. We need more stories like this here. Very inspiring. Also, glad this wasn't some suicidal post. From your title, I wasn't sure. The OP replies, I read the title again and I can see what you mean. Thanks a lot. It's been a long and cruel road, but I'm glad I made it to the other side. There's hope for all of us. Next thought from I Love the Green Dep. This post is amazing and made me smile ear to ear. Now go live your best life and don't look back. Next thought from Scary Inspector 8315. It's for posts like this we stay here. Though the first part of the title kinda scared me. Good luck with life, man. Next up from Arizaba. I am really happy for you. Just an advice. Don't get too sucked by your new job. Large tech companies tend to suck your time. So if you feel overwhelmed and your relationship is on a strain, don't hesitate to move out to smaller tech companies. By then, your resume will look much better with the experience you got, so it will be easier to find a job in a company in which you can enjoy more of your time. Moving on. Hang on, it gets worse. So we were married 16 years and had a really toxic marriage. We both had mistakes in the first years and we both apologized and agreed to stay together and work it out. I met her when she had just moved back to our hometown. She worked with me a short time and dated another co-worker. She got pregnant by him, and she wasn't very cautious with that stuff. Well, into his drinking and drugs also. She had a baby boy, and we started dating almost immediately after he was born. She moved in with me when the baby was 3 months old. I knew I wanted this, and to be with her. I knew I could do it. We discovered that the boy was autistic when he was around 2. She had also gotten pregnant with her first girl. Times were tough being young and with 2 little ones, but we strived to make it work. Yet things were not supportive for the other person, as toxic relationships go. Another 2 years passed, and we had another baby girl. All these pregnancies, she was supposed to be on birth control. She wasn't. She lied about a lot of stuff. 7 years later, we had another baby girl. Things were done different with this one. She decided to do a home birth, and I was involved. Sat in the tub with her and everything. It was a very moving experience. Things seemed okay. There's always decisions made by her that seemed reckless. Well, we were having issues, and it seems like it's the same stuff over and over. She isn't as affectionate or outgoing towards me anymore. Then she states, she's given too much of herself to me and the kids as I'm cuddling with her. I back up and ask, what? She brushes it off like I didn't hear her right. Then she decided to tell me that she only loves me as a friend. I broke down. I went internal with, what did I do? How did I F up? Etc. She backpedaled and quickly said she was to blame, and she needed to fix herself to be better for us. She and I talked a lot, and she decided to get some prescriptions for antidepressant and anxiety. She's a mess, and to be honest, horrible relationship history, etc. I started counting for myself to analyze myself first, then look at her actions. Actions speak louder than words. That's always played big with me. So I really dedicated myself to making things work and making things better for us. Making sure I was working on myself to be a better husband, lover, and dad. Turns out, she had found an old friend from years back, and they had grown close again. He, yes, it was a he friend, came to visit and met the kids. This is when some really weird stuff started happening. She was driving and wrecked our minivan. Totaled it by rear-ending a Prius. Yep, that's right, totaled. By hitting the rear end of a Prius. I gotta say also, they drove away. The police said that she was lucky he didn't give her a ticket for following too close. Then about 1 month later, we had gotten another van. She wrecked that one also, and also her fault. At this point, I'm really concerned about her, for being able to drive our kids, etc. One of our daughters even didn't feel comfortable riding with her anymore. Kid was 12. As time goes by, she was finally able to reach out to a daughter that she had in a previous marriage and lost contact with. Oh, you ask how? Well, see, she was married before me and had a kid and left them. The divorce happens, and he made stipulations for her to get help and counseling. She never did. Starting to sound interesting. That communication with her child morphed into her talking to her ex a lot also. And things developed, and emotions were revisited, etc. I was standing there, trying to support the idea of her taking off to go visit her child whom she hadn't seen in 17 years, and also trying to balance my home with 4 of my kids. The money was super tight. So she decided to start a GoFundMe to get to go see her kid. She raised $1,300, and my family pitched in another $1,000. I then found out she had not followed up with paperwork to maintain her month in food assistance for about 3 months. She let that all slide by. Well, I'm trusting her when she tells me it's all been handled, yet there, $2.43 in the account. I found all this out while she was gone visiting her child out of state by herself. Yet she wasn't by herself at all. Come to find out, she had brought that boyfriend with her. See, her old friend that I thought was a good guy was actually her new boyfriend, and they had been doing it in my house and on my bed. Nice. When she got back from visiting, she wanted a divorce. I still don't understand what all was happening. Then, she told me she was moving in with the ex out of state. But what the kids? So she left. She left the kids. She left all her stuff. She just left. She claimed I'm a narcissist who emotionally abused her. I'm not a narcissist, but I'm sure we both had some emotional crap swinging both ways. I found out later that the boyfriend got dumped after she had gotten back to town also. He unloaded on me all the juicy details of their year-long hidden relationship, with proof and pictures. And he even tried to blackmail me to reach my kids. What a piece of crap. I should have seen things coming after I saw her just give up on contacting her abandoned child. She's now living out of state, with her ex-husband and her kid that she abandoned 70 years ago. We agreed to a parenting plan, and I emphatically pushed for psychological evaluations. So far, she has tried to see the kids once in 6 months, and is not paying child support at all. Our kids are ages 17 to 7, so there's quite a range and understanding. One kid said, "Mom picked your favorite family." One asked why Mom will take his kids to school, but not her own. Damn, that one hurt. So this is me now. Single dad of 4 kiddos. I was always Mr. Mom anyways. I was always getting them ready for school, lunches, rides, and even when I trusted her to get them ready, I would still do it. In fact, there were several times when she would be late after I got them ready and left for work. She somehow fell back asleep, and the kids were tardy for school. I wonder if it was the drinking, or maybe the abusing the prescription of our daughter that made her so out of it. Nah, it's just her. So she was sleeping with all 3 of us for over a month. She exposed me to Hep C knowingly. She abandoned her child 70 years ago, only to repeat the behavior later in life when she's got 4 more kids. Our first reaction comes from Mrs. Jingles 0729. Lawyer it up to protect yourself financially and go after her for child support. The OP responds, got her an order for $700 for all 4 kids? What the F? This seems extremely low, but I doubt I'll see any of it anyways. Can't count on anything for her. Mac and Pumpkin chimes in, man, that's a lot to unload. I am so sorry. She has some sort of personality disorder. I could speculate which one, but I'm no professional. You are doing everything right by taking care of your kids. It's such a shame their mother abandoned them. It will unfortunately have lasting effects. If you have the funds, you can maybe do some sort of family counseling with them. Your partner needs psychiatric help. It is sad that a lot of people are so damaged and mentally ill, yet do nothing about it. I hate when there are kids involved. Be good to yourself and your family. They need you to be level-headed, but I'm sure your emotions are everywhere. One day at a time. We are here for you. Little Nibble adds, did you file for divorce in full custody? Get her for child support. The OP responds, got custody and adopted the boy. Finally, after I signed the papers 3 times in 16 years to do it. She never filed papers for whatever reason. It's done now, and supposed to get $700 for all 4 kids. What the F? On to the next story. Saw my ex for the first time in a year, and I'm spiraling. Long-time lurker here, first-time posting, because I don't have anyone else to talk to. A little background. I found out my ex was having an affair in 121. We were together for 8 years, married for 4, no kids. Affair partner was one of his co-workers. I noticed he was being weird about his phone. Waited till he went to sleep and looked through it and saw the texts. It wasn't anything too graphic. There wasn't sexting or pics, but it was still obvious he was having sex with her. I took pics with my phone, and then started planning my escape. I originally planned to go full ghost. I filed for divorce, planned to take my stuff and just leave the papers on the counter. Last minute, I had a change of heart and wanted to confront. I moved myself out, and then waited for one to come home. I confronted him, and he admitted it. I refused to hear more and followed through with no contact. I said goodbye to his parents, changed my number, moved, and refused to hear anything about him from mutual friends. He did try to reach me for a few months through friends in my family, but they all did what I asked and wouldn't tell him where I was. I was angry, raging, incredulous, outraged, all of it, but I feel like, to protect myself, I just shut down hard. After a few months, I just didn't feel anything about anything, until now. Some friends of ours got engaged and had to reschedule their wedding because of COVID. It was finally held this last Saturday. I love my friends and I knew I needed to go, but I also knew the ex would be there too, confirmed by the bride. So I made damn sure I looked my best. I bought a ridiculously expensive dress and had it tailored so it felt like a glove. I brought a very handsome, friends with benefits I've had for the past few months as my date. I didn't know what to expect from my